I'm Jill Shorter. I'm the marketing director for Ryan Biggs Clark Davis, an engineering and surveying firm in Clifton Park, as well as the vice president for Capital Region CANstruction, which is a local design build competition that we're lucky enough to host at the New York State Museum's 4th floor every spring. The exhibit is normally up for about 2.5 weeks, and we have 12 structures this year that unfortunately were unable to come down at the time. So the food is just sitting here right now, but we want everybody to see the amazing talents of the architects, engineers, and contractors in our local region that they came up with for this year's Let's Eat themed CANstruction, and also for our 10th year anniversary of CANstruction. There's nearly 80,000 cans on the museum floor right now that eventually, when safe, will be taken down and dispersed amongst about 70 local food pantries in the 4 surrounding counties, and that make up the network of the food pantries for the Capital District, our beneficiaries pantries. So we're going to take you on a little field trip of the 4th floor, and just keep in mind that all of these structures are self-supported. The cans are simply stacked. Every once in a while there's a substrate in between to make sure that they're stable, but there are absolutely no adhesives holding these up. And what I can tell you is they look just as amazing as they did about a month and a half ago when they were built, and it's really a true testament to the talent of the design and construction industry in our region. So just wait until you see all the amazing structures that I'm about to show you. Our first structure was built by CANstruction, who is an amazing team to begin with, but even more amazing because they have participated in all 10 years of Capital Region CANstruction. What they did this year is highlight the backpack program. And for those of you who don't know what the backpack program is, it sends elementary K-12 kids home with backpacks on the weekends so that they have enough food to eat and their families have enough food to eat throughout the weekend, because they usually rely heavily on meals from their schools. So as you can see here, we have a sandwich, a container of milk and a straw, a lovely apple, and a chocolate chip cookie for dessert. So this structure is made up of all kinds of foods, but I see potatoes, corn, some soup, green beans, Jell-O for dessert, and even some baking supplies. So everything here is much needed by those in need. This structure, Let's Take Out Hunger, was designed by MJ Engineering and Surveying, and MJ is located up in Clifton Park. And the unique thing about this structure was that it won this year's Best Meal Award at our awards presentation. The reason that this award is so important is the team really focused on items that the food pantries need most, those that can sustain those for longer periods of time, and things that the food pantries are in great need of or are running low on. So as you can see from their accompanying signage board, there's things like potatoes, corn, carrots, tomatoes, ramen, egg noodles, and manwich, which has lots of protein in it. This structure tells the tale of Peter Rabbit as he visits the Capital District. A cool thing about this structure was that the boards that the teams make are also judged, and this one won for best signage board. You can get a closer look at it on our website. I know it's on there, and be able to read the story. This was a combined effort by two veteran teams, EYP out of Albany and the Chazen companies, and features all different kinds of foods like applesauce, oatmeal, cannellini beans, carrots, and brown rice. What I failed to mention earlier, and what is in a great example that you can see in this donut, is the Pix brand. And Pix brand is Price Chopper Market 32's brand. Price Chopper Market 32 is our major sponsor and where all of our teams do their shopping and ordering from. Okay. So CHA from Albany designed this structure of coffee and donuts, donut stop believing. And as you can see, it's extremely colorful and full of foods that the food pantries need on a daily basis. And this Donut Stop Believing was selected as jurors' favorite this year in our 2020 competition. So congratulations to CHA.
We also got a question about what foods we should be donating to the food pantries right now.
Things that are high in protein, the food pantries are always looking for tuna fish, canned soups with, chicken or beef in them, definitely things like peanut butter. They always need canned fruits and vegetables, powdered milk, any type of personal hygiene items that you have as well, toothbrushes, soap, deodorants, razors, things like that. And obviously cash, because cash goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Here we have the Happy 10th Canniversary Cake designed and created by CT Mail. CT Mail is mainly an engineering firm, and they're located in Latham. And we just thought that this was an incredible way to capture 10 years. And it's vibrant and full of color and full of foods that are needed by the food pantries at this time and any time. And this structure actually won this year for structural ingenuity. And as you can see on the back wall, it spells out 518, 8E. It might be a little bit difficult to see, but I know that there's also photos up on our website that were taken by our professional photographer. And if you look on the back, we have New York State, and there's our little capital right there, right out our window. So now we're heading to Full Belly's Diner, and this structure was also designed and created by a 10-year veteran team, which is Mosaic Associates Architects, and Mosaic is located in Troy. And this actually won for most cans, and I believe it was over 7,000. I don't know the exact number right now, but this thing is pretty solid. It's very beautiful, and as you can see, we have the chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla ice creams highlighted. And I know it's making me hungry. A little signage.
Oh, there we go.
So to my right, we have Hyman Hayes Associates, who's a veteran team, and this year they teamed up with McLaren Engineering. Hyman Hayes is over in Colony, and McLaren is in downtown Albany. And they made a pineapple under the sea, which is where our favorite character SpongeBob lives. And as you can see, this one is made up with tons and tons of tuna fish and chicken breast, which is extremely important because of its protein value. And Hyman Hayes competed with McLaren, and this year they took home best use of labels.
Somebody just asked how long it takes to make one of these.
Well, it could take anywhere, let's say, from 5 to 10 hours to build them, but these teams design these structures for nearly 6 months. We open up our call for entries every year in October. It is only open up to the architecture, engineering, and construction industry. You need to have a licensed professional on your team in order to compete. And for months and months, they strategize, they fundraise, they tweak their designs, and they come here on one day in the late morning, and we build until about 8 o'clock at night. So some of them might only take 3 or 4 hours, which is very unusual, but I would say most of them take upwards of 8 to 10 hours. So this structure was designed by Stantec of Albany. And Stantec does a little bit of everything. And they're another incredible team. All of our teams are incredible, but Muppet fans would recognize the Swedish chef, always cooking up something, and his chicken for a smorgasbord. And I had practiced that word a million times, and I hope that I said it right. And this is their signage this year. And as you can see, like I'm going to point out, there's a few logos on here. All of these teams have to fundraise in order to pay for these cans. They're obviously, could be, I would say the average of cost of one of these structures, even with the wonderful discount that Price Chopper gives to us, are close to $3,000. So they go and ask their clients, colleagues, friends for donations in order to pay for them. So these would be some of their sponsors that are highlighted. Right here we have Ratatouille, for those Disney fans who've seen the movie. This was designed and created by AOW Associates and Envision Architects, both Albany firms. AOW is our contractor firm that participates every year. And what I can tell you about this team is they always raise an enormous amount of food. Their structures are always huge. This one is 6,100 cans. But what they also do is they raise an incredible amount of money. So this year, not only did they take home the Best Original Design Award, but they also took away the most cash donated. And even though we don't have our final tabulation right now, we know it was upwards of $40,000. Awesome. So we could not do this without this team whatsoever. And I just wanted to reiterate how important cash is to the food pantries, because they can buy nearly 6 pounds of food with $1. So every dollar that they raise will go a lot further than what the general public could bring in here and donate to them can-wise. So again, great job AOW and Envision.
We have a question if individuals can donate to teams as well, or should they donate to the food pantries?
Right now, we're going to have you donate to the food pantries, because our competition per the national CANstruction, this is actually an international competition, and made up of many, many, many cities that participate. So our competition is actually closed at this point, but we still want the food pantries to benefit as much as they can. So there is a link set up on the foodpantries.org website, a donate button where you can donate monetarily. Unfortunately, the museum, we're not going to be able to take any more canned donations at this time because we just don't know when we're going to be able to haul all this stuff out of there. And the need is so great now, and the money could be accessed now in a safe way. So I would say that's the best way at this point to donate. Okay. Going back to the international competition, there's so many things, great things to highlight about CANstruction, but I just wanted everyone to know that the population of Albany is less than 100,000 people, and we've raised enough cans for each person in the Albany city limits. For the past 2 or 3 years, we've raised over 100,000 cans. We know we are confident we have done that again this year, and we consistently rank in the top 5 in the international competition every year for food donations. Awesome. We also compete for cash donations. So if you didn't get to make it out to the competition this year and see the exhibit, and we're hoping this will draw you in next year, just remember when you do come back to visit it, that normally there's a bin placed next to each one of these structures where the public can bring donations with them, and we count them as votes. So all of these teams right now are vying for the People's Choice Award. We've had to shut it down. Our teams have a little bit of background work that they're doing right now to get some pantries food that they already had in their office. But once everything is safe too, we will be announcing who the winner was of that. And that award winner will go on to compete at the international level for the International People's Choice. And I can tell you right now that a few years back, the Capital Region was the recipient of that when Hyman Hayes won for their Pokemon structure. So our tiny little city is competing internationally with cities like Los Angeles, Tokyo, New York, London, and we're always in the top 5. So keep that in mind, what a cool place we live in. Thanks.
We also had a question about how long it's going to be up for. But unfortunately, it's over now, but usually these structures are up for 2 weeks.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, we flip-flopped typically between March and April every year. We're not quite sure when we're going to show up every year, but we're always open for 2 weeks. And keep in mind the museum is closed on Mondays, but you can come down at any time. And usually during that 2-week span, we have an incredible family fun day where our teams are on hand and they'll do crafts and activities and games centered around their structures. That got pushed off this year, unfortunately, because of what's going on in the world, but we do try to bring the community in to show them exactly what's going on. A lot of our teams will host STEM nights for groups like the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts to come in and learn a little bit more about the engineering principles that it takes to keep these structures standing. So this structure is our sushi structure and was designed and created by Creighton Manning Engineering in Albany. And again, super cool. They even made some homemade chopsticks there that look pretty nice. We have so many talented people who are involved in this. So sometimes they'll add some props to get their point across, but all the components you need for a really good plate of sushi are right here. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And last but not least, we have our radishes. And the radishes were designed and created by KW, Mission Critical Engineering, and they're in Troy, and they have participated for many years as well. And their super cool structure has nearly 5,000 cans, lots of tuna and tomato sauce. I see some dried beans. We have some veggie crackers.
Veggie pasta.
Lots and lots of things that the Food Pantries needs. Super Greens pasta.
Mm.
I did want to mention that we were able to disperse a tiny bit of the food that was already on the floor. We had two smaller structures that we had designed by the Girl Scouts of Northeastern New York, and those were easy enough for a couple volunteers to take down. So we took those down last week, and those have already been pushed out to the food pantries. I wanted to reiterate one more time that if you go to foodpantries.org, on their homepage, there's a donate button where you can donate monetarily to the food pantries, and they will be able to buy over 6 pounds of food with every dollar raised. And their incredible network of volunteers are working so hard right now for all of the pantries, but especially the pantries that need it the most. If you're having trouble getting through or don't know where to drop off your food at this point, if it's safe to do so, I would always suggest to make a monetary donation. And if you have any questions related to CANstruction or how you can donate otherwise, even if it's down the road, you can certainly reach out to us and check out our Facebook page, Capital Region CANstruction, go through the museum to find out more information, or visit capitalregioncanstruction.com to be able to find out more about our organization on the whole. And keep watching us, because we do have more awards to announce, and we will be announcing not only how much cash we raised, but how many cans we will be donating when it's all safe to come down. So thank you. I hope you enjoy the field trip.